The annoying orange getting crushed under a hydraulic press. And I thought his face couldn't get any more deformed. Hi again, guys, and welcome back to The Singularity. If you've been on the internet these last few months, you've probably played around with, or at least seen those DALL-E AI generated images, where basically you give this computer a prompt and it spits out several images based off of what you typed, and some of them have gotten scarily good. Washing a whole pizza in a dishwasher. I mean, it does make perfect sense. That way you can reuse that pizza and eat it a second time later. The worst part is that this is supposed to be the really crappy version of the AI image generator. Like, these ones that are scaring me and how they come to be are apparently the worst end of them. We'll be looking at images made by both versions and more. If you enjoy this video, there will be this big card at the end that takes you to another one like it. Also, did you know only like a fifth of you guys are subscribed with notifications on? It brings a tear made of blood to my eyes. Seriously though, if you subscribed and hit that bell, you never miss an upload. It takes 2 seconds and it does mean a lot. Plus, you can always undo it later if you decide you hate me. My Little Pony gas mask. This is legit just the helmet on the CW Batwoman's costume where they would give her the fakest red wig you've ever seen to hide her secret identity hair color. These genuinely do look like they could be some real pony gas masks. My only complaint is that the nozzle is not nearly long enough to fit over an actual pony snout. Minions fighting in the Vietnam War. This reminds me of one prompt I kept trying to get good results for by putting Sonic the Hedgehog on D-Day at the invasion of Normandy Beach. I don't know, I thought of that and it stuck with me. Kermit the Frog arriving at heaven to kill God, realistic painting. This is realistic in more ways than one, because I can absolutely see Kermit finding some way to make this happen. If you look at the images left to right, top to bottom, it almost looks like a comic strip. First, Kermit arrives at the gate of heaven. He makes his way inside. After that, he's menacingly skulking around the hallways as God himself hides from the frog in fear. Fried egg crucifixion. And yeah, this is what God is gonna look like when Kermit is finished up his business. No deity is safe from getting scrambled and served on a toast cross when Kermit is on the hunt. Jesus in GTA 5 pointing a gun. Close face photo, cutscene. Damn, maybe God isn't in as much danger as I thought he was. His son does not look like he is fucking around in these. Plague Doctor in Pingu. It's funny, because if society was run by penguins, and COVID happened the same way it did for us in that penguin society, Plague Doctor masks are just how masks would look. You have to be able to fit the whole motherfucking beacon there. This is just anatomically accurate for bird disease prevention. Surgery unintentionally leaves man's head looking exactly like a baseball. Oh yeah, that one hurts the eyes a bit. Let me go on a tangent real quick to try and distract myself from the pain. One of my favorite things to do with these images is figure out how people came up with the wording for the prompts that they use. It tells you so much about the person thinking of this absolutely horrid shit. This one, for instance, reads like a newspaper headline. Perhaps a local incident that scarred the person who made this thing and convinced him that he had to share that pain with the rest of us so that he wouldn't suffer alone. Annoying kid that's about to say some stupid shit. This one was definitely a vent post. The person who wanted to see this get made definitely has a specific annoying kid in mind. Lo-fi guillotine execution to relax and behead to. And like, come on. You can't tell me that this doesn't look like a nice vibey place to decapitate some authorian despot. I feel like the cool aesthetic of executions has really been lost with time. Everybody talks about ethics and how it's immoral or incredibly painful to the victim, and you risk killing an innocent person. Like, where's your sense of adventure? Back in the good old days, we'd kill people in the public square and burn them on the stake for sport. You'd even have to pay for tickets to get special access to watch sometime. We didn't have all these fancy music festivals like Rolling Loud that you kids have these days, so we had to have fun somehow. Cthulhu photobombing a romantic selfie on a beach at sunset. I feel like a mind-melting, incomprehensible specter blocking the sun in your romantic photo almost makes it better. It's really only photobombing if it ruins the picture. But there are a million beaches you can take a picture on during sunset, while having an eldritch god in your couple's photos is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, mostly because you'll be dead right after it happens. New emoji made to describe the feeling of sitting on a toilet seat that is already warm. Wow, it did a really good job. The people who make those new emojis every year might as well outsource the whole process to AI now. This prompt does bring an interesting comparison to light though. If you sit on an already warm toilet seat, you're a bit put off because it means someone else's raw butt cheek has just been there. But when sitting on any other type of chair, the butt warm still being there is actually a blessing because it makes the seat more cozy. I mean, it's the whole reason we have heated seats as a luxury in cars. Just think about it, man. It's crazy. A kid's book on how to build a nuke. These ones are great. There's one that's even got pop-up pictures because kids are dumb and can't focus on two-dimensional images. I love the one where a nuke is already going off in real life and they just have the how to build a nuke for kids manual out as it happens. It's like a bunch of toddlers decided to give it a shot on a whim, actually pulled it off. and suddenly a square mile of Kansas is no longer habitable. Pixar coronavirus movie, the one it made with the virus having facial expressions, is literally perfect. You could tell me that was a low-res leak of a draft put together for a pitch about a COVID movie to the execs at Pixar, and I would believe you and ask you how far along in production it was. JFK assassination Lego set. A lot of people are gonna say that this Lego set is not kid appropriate and should be marketed towards adults only, but I disagree. If our teachers can show us the actual footage of JFK getting his brains blown out on fucking loop in middle school, then they can stomach the Lego recreation if they're toddlers. Besides, it's just a hands-on educational tool anyways. Man withdrawing a stack of fish from an ATM. This seems like it would be mighty convenient to have in any city. The real question is if you can take those fish to a casino and exchange them for some chips. Margaret Thatcher meeting Satan, and it's just her having a grand old time hanging with herself. Oh, a gaming diaper. Apparently AI knows how to hone in on a target audience here too, because they did their best to make them look ergonomic and on the cutting edge of tech by adding light-up LEDs everywhere. It's so cool looking that it almost makes you forget it's made for adults to shit in. King Kong is an attorney at law, arguing his case in front of the jury. This AI is weirdly good at making courtroom sketches, that and for some reason also trail cam footage. In fact, you'll notice that DALL-E images has some commonalities in how good they look depending on what they are, where the more the things in your prompt resemble smears of color, the better a job DALL-E Mini will do at reproducing them. For example, raw chicken going down a water slide. Raw chicken is just the perfect type of gelatinous uncooked meat to A, glide right down a water slide, and B, have a realistic depiction from this AI. It's made of smears of ambiguous pinks and reds just like in real life. And that's just the version we're all playing around with, the DALL-E Mini. It's the shitty version that the developers decided the peasants could handle to play around with while they hang out in their big country club. The big boy invite-only version is DALL-E 2, and that thing is fucking insane. A taxidermied emoji in a museum. Isn't that just horrifying? Where in the wild would you even go to hunt down and collect the corpses of one of these things? They look like sentient rocks you'd find living and hiding at the center of the Earth's core. DALL-E 2 is also really good at generating potatoes. It makes me want to try and bake my monitor and cut it open so I can stuff its guts with bacon and cheese and chives. The Up House in the style of the Hindenburg disaster. Realistically, this is what would have happened in that movie. The house would have caught up in flames and it would have been a tragic tale that got plastered all over the news the next day before being forgotten about in a week. Speaking of the Hindenburg though, I really would like to bring back blimps. There are only like 25 left actively going around in the world, and 4 of them are all in Gotham City. I know it's like the most inefficient and dangerous form of aircraft ever made, but come on, it looks cool. Super Mario getting his citizenship at Ellis Island. That is not Super Mario. That is Premier Stalin. Now there's only so many of the really weird ones because only like industry professionals get DALL-E 2 access, and because of that the average image generated is less unhinged than with the public one. But before we go back to the slums of AI generation, I want to highlight one last thing about DALL-E 2, and that is how good it is at reproducing images of Homer Simpson. Homer Simpson gaming at an esports event. Low poly render of Homer Simpson. Homer Simpson as a Greek god statue. Homer Simpson at a crosswalk light. All of these pics of Homer Simpson in different movies. That's not even all the ones on the account. DALL-E 2 captures him so accurately in so many different styles, it is more than mind-boggling. Alright, back to the lower class DALL-E. Really is hard to go back when you see the possibilities. Darth Vader in Soviet space propaganda poster. Okay, look, I don't care how you feel about Vader or Palpatine and the Galactic Empire, their propaganda aesthetic went raw as fuck, man. Look at these and tell me they wouldn't make you hate the Rebel Alliance too. Wolf in sheep's clothing. Damn, it took this one really literally. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't even look menacing or like some unholy fucked up chimera of a sheep and wolf. It legit just looks cozy as hell in all that fluff. I kinda want to pet it even more than I already wanted to pet wild wolves capable of murdering me. Jeff Bezos' floating head as a hot air balloon in the sky. This doesn't even come off as something someone did to make fun of Jeff Bezos. To me, it just looks like something Jeff Bezos would do as a joke because he absolutely has the money to throw around and make it happen. Before you do that, Mr. Bezos, hear me out. Do you have any interest in Zeppelins? The Joker on America's Got Talent. By the time America Got Talent was on air, metal detectors and checking people's person for weapons was a commonplace practice, right? I'm not asking for any particular reason. It just seems like a good thing to have is all. Furries storming the Capitol. I'm not gonna lie to you, this just looks like your standard fur con at the local Hilton. If there's one thing furries know how to do well, it's plan a themed party, and this is one hell of a concept. WikiHow on how to impress your wife by building a lamp from your intestines. It does kind of show you're willing to go above and beyond for your one and only. The only organ most people would give to their significant other is their heart, and even some people don't even do that. Anakin Skywalker vacuuming the beach to remove sand. Listen, I respect that Anakin is this much of a hater to try and get rid of all of sandkind single-handedly, but he's just gonna have to put it somewhere else eventually if the only thing he's doing is vacuuming it. Contract with Dubai to make some more sinking artificial islands. The best option would have been to glass the whole thing. He's He's got a Death Star. I know he has the firepower to pull it off. He's just not being smart about it. Joe Biden mukbang. The concept of a presidential mukbang is really funny on its own, just a Biden and Nikocado avocado collab. But it's even funnier because these AI-generated images look so similar to the actual photos that Trump took with all that McDonald's he had catered when football teams visited the White House. Does art imitate life, or does life imitate art? Clifford, the big red dog, blocking the Suez Canal. Well, I'll give it to you. If Clifford was made for the express purpose of clogging global shipping lanes, he is doing a bang-up job. Reddit mod, touching grass. This one is especially funny to me because I had to specifically go to Reddit to find it. I respect the self-awareness, and I'm hoping that seeing this beautiful imagery of the outdoors in this video will inspire Reddit mods of all shapes and sizes, and also hopefully my viewers to go outside and then immediately regret it because it sucks shit out there. Then they'll come back inside with a new jaded and doomer perspective and waste all their time watching more of my videos. Anyways, that's all I got on me. I don't think I need to clarify that there is a literal infinite amount of content for this video idea, so let me know if you want to see more of this stuff in the comments. That card I mentioned should be on screen now, and if you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell or I will cry. Remember, don't go after anyone I mentioned today because that's cringe and this is meant in good fun. Anyways, this has been Kwite, but not for much longer.